Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Tribute Talk Faux Real, the Facebook Live version of it. And my guest tonight is one of my favorite people. I don't know if I've even ever told her that or not before, but this is Hiedi Musselman of Mrs. Spook Show's Designs. Hello.
Hello.
Say hi to everybody out there in Facebook land.
Well, hello, everyone in Facebook land. I hope you are surviving this quarantine well and staying safe and staying sane.
Yeah. Well, half of it's true anyway.
Trying.
Yeah.
We're all trying the best we can.
Well, I'm just going to say I'm tickled that you are here, and she just admitted to me it's the first full face of makeup you've had on in how long?
at least 2 months, because
I'll bust you out.
Yeah, it's fun. I love doing makeup and hair, obviously, because
obviously.
But it was a good excuse, good reason.
Yeah, I've never seen your hair this long before.
I know, it's wild. We're just gonna ignore all that silver over here, but yeah.
Yeah, do you know why I'm wearing a hat? I dyed my own hair, and I cut my own hair. Not a good idea.
Well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. There's no other choice.
Yeah, but you know what? Thank goodness I didn't get it cut too short that I couldn't go to somebody tomorrow and have them done. Have them fixing. Well, let me tell everybody a little bit about you, and then we'll just start chatting and talking. First of all, Hiedi is and has been for a while a professional makeup and hairstylist and wig artiste, and costume designer and creator. And maker and all of that fun stuff. And I got to know her a few years ago because some friends of mine were using her services and they highly recommended her. James Songster was one. And you do his Santa Claus beard and wig. And now you do mine. You do all of my wig and beard stuff and Madison's too. And then I believe Carla Del Villaggio was using you, and she is a Barbara Streisand impersonator who has written to me and said that she would like to be on the show as well. So I'm like,
oh, yay! I love Carla. She's so much fun.
So she came. Hiedi came to the Sunburst convention a few years back now.
I think it's been 5 now.
It's been 5 years. You need
I know, isn't that wild?
I know, that's crazy. And at the time, well, tell everybody what you were doing at the time, and we'll talk about you coming into Sunburst and all that. So give us a little bit of your background, Miss Hiedi.
All right. Well, when I started up with you guys at Sunburst, I had been doing wigs for years and years.
Right.
I went to beauty college somewhere in the late Jurassic period, otherwise known as the early 90s. And I did hair, but I didn't really love working in the salon. And I had already worked in theater and, of course, been bit by the theater bug. And it's hard to get away from that. So I ended up going back to professional theater and as a costumer, really. And working in non-union houses, like the second they find out you have any hair experience, they're like, great, here's all the wigs.
All of them.
It's fine by me. I mean, that worked out great for me. But yeah, so I was doing that. And then when I moved to Florida about 12 years ago, because I was working for a theme park, I didn't really do any wigs there, obviously, because everything is so insular. It's very divided. Costuming is costuming, wigs are wigs, and there is no cross pollination there. So I ended up starting just freelance stuff on the side, and I'd pick up a thing or two here. And it was just like, it literally, that first year that I started picking up wigs, my first year here was 2 or 3 people. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And like, you could have knocked me over with a feather when you called me and asked me to be a vendor at Sunburst. And I'm like, first of all, I'll be honest, I had no idea that there was a celebrity impersonator convention, even though I had worked with celebrity impersonators. But I mean, you told me about it and I'm like, yeah, I'm in, that sounds awesome. And my business has grown. I was working, like I said, for a theme park, and about 4 years ago now, I finally quit that full time. And this has been my business, is just doing styling wigs, making costumes, making wigs, all the whole gamut. So
yeah. And you do an awesome job with it. And I think I'm very impressed when people call up and they go, hey, who do I call about a wig? And I go, call Hiedi. But first of all, you're looking at about 3 months here.
Yeah, there was a time that because I was working elsewhere, and because I was just getting so busy. I mean, the wait times were going longer and longer and longer. And this last year, I've been started bringing people on and having more of a team and so forth. Right now, that's obviously all on hold because
And then the pandemic. Yes.
Yeah, we are all doing just what we can to muddle through the pandemic and come out the other side with some semblance of business again. Because I mean, I know all the entertainers are kind of in the same boat as me. They're like, well, it's gonna start back eventually.
Sometime.
So I've done a few commissions while I've been down for this. The bulk of my business, which is we've been taking care of stuff for Disney Cruise Lines when they're in port. So myself and my team would go out there bi-weekly and just touch up stuff on the ship. And of course, no ships are going out. Nothing is happening on that front. So it's been just me in the shop working and also trying to homeschool my child and
Yay.
all the fun stuff that everybody's really going through right now that has stuff going on. Because I mean, we all have our weird, wonderful lives. And
absolutely. Well, let me ask you this. What you were doing the Disney Cruise Lines. Was that a referral, or did you go to them and say, hey, I do wigs, I would like to apply to be a vendor, or how did that work? And you don't have to tell me all your secrets. I'm just wondering, did they come seeking you out, or did you go out and seek them?
No, I had met some people through some people. You know how it is, like when you're working. I met somebody who met somebody who I ended up talking to the people in charge there, and they're like, oh yeah, we need people that ventilate. And that's how I just got in with them initially, was doing ventilation work for them, which we still do.
What is ventilation work?
Ventilation work is the hand tying of individual hairs into a lace wig, either a lace or a lace front wig. So they on their ships use beautiful stuff for their shows. So they need somebody who knows how to maintain it and how to add to it, take away, whatever needs to happen to make it fit the performer.
Yeah. Well, you have also developed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it may have started with James and then referrals. And you're doing a number of Santa Claus wigs and beards and Mrs. Claus wigs and all of that fun stuff too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I never in my wildest dreams would have believed that would be a huge chunk of my business. I honestly never really thought about it a whole lot. The stuff I did was all theatrical. And then James honestly was the one that got me on the path for doing that. The first year he's like, all right, so I need to look good. What can you do to help? And he brought me, like most Santas start out, a very inexpensive synthetic wig, and
guilty.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to start somewhere. That's totally fine. But he wanted to make it look a little bit better. And so I made it look a little bit better. And then you found out, and I made yours look a little bit better. And then one thing led to another. And I probably sold 20 Santa wig and beard sets last year, or maintained them. Or
no kidding.
Yeah, just last year. It has been the strangest thing. And I get repeat clients, like people that like, hey, I got one from you last year, but I'm so busy because I work like 2,700 gigs in the month of December. I need a second set so that I can alternate them.
I'm doing that this year. I'm getting better about it because my intention this year is to have at least 2 good wig and beard sets, because I use the separate mustache. That's the way to go. And so I can drop one off to you and pick one up
that's what we did with James.
Yeah. And go, I'll use this for a week. Because even at the end of the season, I go, you know what? If I didn't know what I know now, I would be fine with the way this looks, but I know Hiedi can make it look better.
Yeah, when you look at it freshly styled, it's hard to look at it at the end of the season.
Yeah, it is.
And think nice things about it.
Right.
Because, it takes a beating. It's just what happens. You wear it, it takes wear. You need to maintain it or have someone maintain it.
And I'm glad to hear you say that about synthetic wigs, because if you're for the Santa, if you're in a situation where you're not going to wear it that often, but whereas like myself and James, we're constantly taking them off and putting them on, a real human hair wig and beard is good for those very special occasions.
Yes. Especially here in the South, in the Florida and anywhere humid. Yeah. Human hair acts like human hair.
Yeah.
And whether that's on a wig or on your head, it's going to get sweaty. It's going to lay flat. It's going to lose its curl. All those things will happen. Yeah.
Well, I do tell people, I say, if you're going to get a synthetic wig, which I recommend, if you're going to do 3 or 4 Santa appearances in a day, that might be but get a really good one. And I say, give it to Hiedi. And so part of that may be my fault. Go give it to Hiedi. She knows how to work with this and make it look right. Because the worst thing in the world is to have a beard that is synthetic, that looks like a crappy synthetic beard.
Yeah, that's fair. And then this last year, I started something new. I tried it out with James because he's my guinea pig. I have a lace edge synthetic now that's nice because it holds up in Florida in the heat and humidity. But it has the benefit of having the nice lace edge, so it lays real pretty. And yeah.
Well, I'm going to want to take a look at one of those
this year. Yeah,
count me in.
Oh yeah, I've got several for sale this year, so I'm prepared.
Well, let's talk about celebrity impersonation and the wig and cut. Now, you also do costumes, but for the celebrity impersonation part of it, you mostly do wigs, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I do wigs for the celebrity impersonation. Sarah LaSalle is an amazing costumer, and she kind of has the niche on the celebrity impersonators. And I'll be real, I'll be the first one to refer somebody to her because she's magnificent.
She made Madison's Maryland costume, and you did Madison's Maryland wigs.
Exactly.
Fantastic combination.
Yeah, it's great because I do a lot of stuff for theme park and corporate event stuff and things. So there's no need for me to try to pull that from her. She does an amazing job. Please go to her. I kind of feel like that's also the spirit of Sunburst, because I've never seen a group of entertainers that so willingly share information and gigs and everything just to make everything work out at the end of the day.
It's really nice, and thank you for saying that. And that's something that just organically happened. Everybody just said everybody's nice, and you get along, and you help each other out, and I think it's wonderful. You come to Sunburst, you set up a fantastic booth and display and everything, and people come to you and they're like, Hiedi, can you help?
Yep, we style wigs on the fly there just to get people through, make sure they look really good for their showcase, and no, it's good stuff.
It's a fun and exciting thing. I know that there are people, because they've told me, they're like, I could go over and drop $1,000 with Hiedi right now with the stuff she has on display.
Yeah, and some years work out like that. I have stuff on display that people walk up and go, I'll take that and that and that. Thanks. And some years it doesn't. And it's fine either way. I make such good connections at Sunburst and get to talk to so many people, and like, I love it when people come up and ask me, like, I have this and I hate to ask you because, it's not one of yours. I'm like, I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. Like, we're all in this to make each other look good. So let's help each other out. And they can bring their stuff over and I can help them out. And
do you ever, this is where I ask the slightly uncomfortable questions. Do you ever have somebody to bring you a wig and you're thinking, okay, I'll work on it, but this is a piece of crap?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But everybody has to start somewhere.
They got to start somewhere. Absolutely. Well, I think it's wonderful because you will take that. You will take that and you'll go, here, fixed it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're always like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I can tell them too, like, you can do better than this when you're ready. When you're ready, come see me and we can upgrade to the next level. This is where you're at right now. That's totally cool. You do it. Make it work for you, make your money, and then we'll talk later. It's okay.
Go. And that's a fantastic way to do it, because you're not shaming them into, that's
my God, no, I would never do that. It's silly to try to, that never works out at the end of the day.
This is true. Now, I've noticed you at Sunburst, because I see stuff, but I'm moving like this pretty much the whole time.
Yep, you sure are.
Yeah, but I see people, and you're also working with their hair. There are people that come to you, and it's not necessarily a wig, but I've seen you, or am I mistaken there? Have you helped people with
No,
their own wig?
for the most part, I just deal with wigs.
Okay.
There's a few times and a few scenarios where they're needing help getting their wig on, which I'm
Ah.
absolutely happy to help them prep their hair and get the wig on.
Mhm.
Or if they're wearing their wig back further past their hairline and using their own hair to blend in, I'll
Ah.
absolutely help with all of that. But like styling their full head of hair, that's not something I
Yeah.
really mess around with.
Very cool.
So,
Now,
but yeah.
I had a question and now it just popped right out of my head. Oh, I know what it was.
So,
So
hmm.
I know that you get referrals and you hear from people that you've never met before, and they go, "Hey, I
Oh
need a
yeah, it's
wig for
wild.
this." How do you do that? How do you say I can make you a wig, because there is an art to it? You can't just make a wig and say here. It's you have to tailor it to their head.
Right. And a lot of it is a back and forth question and answer process.
Mhm.
Like they'll come to me and they say, I want a Frank Sinatra wig.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, do you wear a wig currently? Yes or no, and then it proceeds from there. But really, I need to like ascertain like what their level is working with wigs. Are they going to be able to apply their own wig? How foolproof does it need to be? Some people are fairly adept at, restyling and doing their own thing. Most people that aren't will be right up front with that
Yeah.
and tell me, oh no, I need something I just can just pull out and put on.
Mhm.
And that's the case for most times, especially with the guys.
Yeah.
Most of the guys are not, they just want something that looks good that they can pull out and put on. And
Mhm.
so we do a lot of synthetic wigs for that, just because they hold up and they don't need to be restyled as often.
Mhm.
It's like a human hair or anything else. But yeah, no, it's a question and answer process. Like how real do you need it to look?
Mhm.
How are you doing meet and greets? Are you doing stage production? Are you where in that,
Mhm. And
niche are you falling?
what era of this entertainer are you going for? Because are you going for, 1960s Frank Sinatra, or are you going for 1980s Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra?
Two totally different animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make sure that people send me reference pictures. I'm like, okay, send me your ideal look of this person.
Mhm.
And so that way we are both looking at the same picture, the same reference.
Mhm.
There's been times where I've had people contact me and I don't know how serious they were to start with, but they're like, oh, you can just Google them. I'm like, no, no, not going to do that.
Yeah.
Um, I appreciate that. Yes, there's a lot of pictures of Frank Sinatra out there, but I need you to send me what you're expecting to emulate,
Mhm.
because I could guess, but like a lot of these artists have had a 20, 30, 40-year run,
Mhm.
and there's no telling what era they fit in. Even just modern artists like Adele, she has had
Mhm.
several different looks in the last
And the
10
last,
years.
yeah, absolutely.
So yes, she's a modern artist, but what are you going for? Are you going for classic Adele Buffon, or are you going for her new little bob?
Mhm.
I need
Lady
to know.
Gaga changes weekly.
Holy crap. I know. She's got like, she had, of course, I love her stuff. She's got like a million wigs that she wears in all
Mhm.
her music videos and stuff. She's amazing. She has some amazing stuff.
One of the things that uh, jumps out at me as far as memories and being so impressed with your work was someone who does not need a wig and performed as his celebrity for many years. And you know where I'm going with this.
I do. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Eric Richardson as Dean Martin.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh. He is so fun.
yeah, and his you didn't think about it. You just didn't think that, you know what, in order to be a better Dean Martin impersonator, you need different hair. That was just something that never
That
crossed.
pearl.
Yeah. And you did one for him and he came out and everybody went, oh my God.
Hmm.
It made a huge difference. And it looked like his hair. It didn't look
Yeah.
like a wig. It looked like his hair. And he looked more like Dean Martin. So when he walked out, you don't go, okay, here's a gentleman. Oh, he's singing Dean Martin. Oh, I see it. Yeah, he walks out on stage. You're like Dean Martin.
Yeah. That's that's always the best feeling, is when you can achieve the look and nobody knows.
Mhm.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows that's a wig. That's not his hair. I know he's told me many times. He's like, this wig is everything because nobody knows I'm wearing it, and it just sealed the deal on the look.
It did. It really did. It made a big difference on him. And you've made one for me, and I've worn it, and I thought it was funny because I wore it in front of you, and you didn't realize I was wearing your wig. I don't know if you remember that.
It happened. Yeah, it happens occasionally. At some point, they do blend together. I've done a few wigs at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah, no, that's good.
well, we were talking about Christmas earlier. Are you working on Christmas stuff now?
Yeah, I am. I'm prepping all the Santa sets that I'll have for sale this year because I'm probably going to start listing those in the next month or so because Christmas in July is a thing, and I don't know what this year is going to bring because it's a little bit weird. But
yeah, it's going to be different. We've got a couple of comments I want to. Jason Scott just wrote and said, "Tell them what you're working on today."
oh, I can show you what I'm working on. Actually, it's his Neil Diamond.
Bring it up. Yeah,
I'm going to
Jason
try to get it in
Scott's a
frame.
fantastic Neil Diamond impersonator from Canada. Look at there.
I still got to fix his sideburns so that he has the appropriate sideburns. But yeah,
He's looking good.
let me get it off of him. It might be easier to.
Now, are you going to attach the sideburns, or are they going to be separate?
Yeah, I'm going to attach the sideburns. I've got a little bit of lace left here from where I ventilated the whole front because I ventilated the front here so it looks natural in the hair.
Very
trying
cool.
to figure out where to go with it. Anyway, but yeah, this is Jason.
Looks awesome.
We're gonna. I think we're gonna FaceTime tomorrow and have him have a good close look at it. I sent him pictures preliminarily, but
yeah, that'll look great on.
Yeah,
and that's one of those wigs you brought. If you were just to put it up here and say, let's play guess the celebrity, I'd have gotten it like that. And
well, he had some very iconic hair. I mean,
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Jamie Paget from England said, interesting expert hair info, which is interesting for him because he needs no wig nor hair.
All right.
He does Walter White. You remember him from?
Oh yeah.
Eisenberg.
Oh, yeah. Sunburst. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
He's been to Sunburst 2 or 3 times. I think twice.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's interesting. Yeah, Jason says he can't wait to get the wig.
Yay!
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, tell them about pictures. What kind of, not a requirement, but what you like to happen when you give somebody a wig. You like to get pictures.
Of course, everybody wants to see their work in action.
Yes.
You know, I love it when people send me like photos from their show or from a meet and greet or just from trying it on going, yeah. I like it when people get excited because I mean, ultimately I want them to love what I do for them. So yeah, when I get feedback like that, who doesn't like that, right?
Yeah. Don't you have like an album you put these pictures in or something like that?
Yeah, I've got a most of my stuff ends up on Instagram because that's where it's kind of like Instagram anymore is kind of the portfolio for everyone. But like at Sunburst, I have them all on a thumb drive and they run them through the like a digital photo frame so I can have that up and everybody can see what I've done. Cool. And that I got to get a bigger thumb drive, I think, because it's starting to get full.
That's pretty cool. How many, well, now is different because of the pandemic and everything, but you had some folks working with you, so you were able to stay on top of things a little bit better. So are you taking orders now, or are you pretty set for a little while?
Yeah, I am taking orders still. I've got several things working right now that are commissions that people have brought in. I know a lot of people they don't have the money right now, and that's totally understandable because I know we're all struggling through the same thing. So I'm just trying to stay caught up and get ahead if I can, like with the Santa stuff, so I can be free, like once things open up a little bit more, to take on more commissions and get back to things as usual.
My sister's in the room and she said to tell you hi, and she can't wait for her Mrs. Claus wig.
Oh yeah. I got to get back with her on that. About the time I was getting all the information together for her, all of this happened.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, Jackie loves hers and Madison's Martha May Huvier wig. She wore it. She's working for MAC Cosmetics, as you know, and she wore it at the mall this past year for Black Friday.
I know. I saw the pictures. She was adorable.
Thank you. She is. I'm proud. We're proud.
She is. You should be. She is amazing.
And what I love it because she'll go, "Hey, Dad, can I get Heidi to make a wig for me?" And I'm like, "Sure," but she knows exactly what she wants,
Yeah.
and you know exactly how to make. When she gets it, she's like so proud of it. She's like, this is my Heidi wig here." So that's awesome. So how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way? Is it through Instagram, Facebook, email, your website? Give us the scoop.
The scoop is you can, the easiest way is going to the website and reaching out through the contact form. Or you
Which
can,
is?
which is mrsspookshow.com.
Oh, that's it. Just
Simple as that.
mrsspookshow.com. And Miss
mrsspookshow.com.
MRS.
MRS.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy enough. That's easy enough.
Yeah, it is pretty simple. There's a contact info on there, or the Facebook takes it. The only thing I don't really get notifications on for some reason is Instagram. It varies it, and I try to let people know up front that Instagram is not a good way to contact me because I may or may not ever see it if you're not already following me. It doesn't show me. So unless I go hunting for it, it's hard to find.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with Instagram myself for my
Yeah.
business and what I do. But you know me, I'm a Facebook man. So
Oh yeah.
I'm
Well,
going
yeah, Facebook is easier.
yeah. I'm going live 4 times a day now.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching. It's been awesome.
I
Pretty
started the new
great.
game today, What's in the Box, and
What's in the box?
I had a ball doing that. It was so much fun, but I'm going to step it up a little bit. But so are you doing what percentage of your business is wigs and what percentage is costumes, do you think? Because I know there are local people who come to you and they need costuming with you locally.
Yeah, it's about probably a 70-30 split. So
Yeah.
70% wigs, 30% costumes. Like this last year, I did some like living topiaries and some elf on the shelf that turned out really cute, and some
I've
Santa.
seen all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, made a bunch of Santa costumes at this point to go with the
Yeah.
wigs. So
Well, there you go.
I think people like a one-stop shop, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, in this business, when people find somebody that they like, they stick with them and they refer them. So I think you're stuck with this for quite a while.
I hope so. I hope so
Yeah.
because I have told so many people about the celebrity impersonator family,
Hmm.
and they're really mystified because I of course work with a lot of other entertainers, and for them to go hear that celebrity impersonators are a different bunch, and
Hmm.
that they will help each other out, and they will, if they can't make a gig, they'll refer it to somebody else, and they're just totally shocked because that just doesn't happen in normal run-of-the-mill standard theater stuff. You don't
Yeah, it
tell anybody
doesn't.
about those auditions because you don't want to,
No.
like,
The
you know.
biggest one that I got when I first started hearing about it at the Sunburst convention were from Elvis impersonators, and they go to Elvis conventions and Elvis competitions, and they come to Sunburst, and they're like, "This is awesome," and I've never seen it. Everybody's nice. They help each
Mhm.
other. They become friends, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." Now I'm going to ask you this too. I don't know if you can think of it right off the bat, but what might be one of the most bizarre requests for a wig that you've ever had? Does one stand out?
Not not really, honestly, because I don't know. I think I just enjoy doing them too much, and if anybody
Mhm.
comes to me with something wild, I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, that's what I kind
Because
of
it's a
figured.
challenge, you know? At that point, it's just fun, and it's unique, you know? Like,
You
I
just
learned how
posted
to.
one. You just posted one
Mhm.
recently, and it's like a fire wig, is what it looked
Oh,
like.
yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Did you just go, "Oh, I have this idea. I want to make this cool wig," or?
Yeah, basically, because like I said, right now things are a little slower than normal,
Yeah.
and I've been like trying to build the drag side of the business as well. Because I mean,
Uh-huh.
we do Santas, we do celebrity impersonators. Drag is not something that I have like pushed hard to grow that portion of it. So
Uh-huh.
like working on some more for stuff
Well,
for that.
wow.
So
If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, the
oh
wigs
yeah,
coming out of there, I'm like,
I
oh
know
my. And Jackie
they're
sits there.
fantastic and
They are.
huge, and I love
They
it.
really are. Rue will walk out with a wig, and Jackie will go, "Gotta have that hair."
So big. I know. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
That is so much fun. I mean, I love watching and looking at other people's work, stuff that the other people have done, and just being amazed. There are some
Yeah.
really talented people.
Absolutely. So are you looking to get more into drag? Because it looks to me sometimes like they have to put 3 or 4 wigs together to make all that hair.
Yeah, and sometimes that is absolutely the case. Is you got to
Yeah.
stack some hair, sew some extra wefts in, just get a lot of hair happening in there. But yeah,
Now,
no, I love that.
if somebody has questions about wig care or anything like that, do you have a setup fee or anything like that? If somebody calls up and says, "Can I wash this wig? What am I to do with it?" Do you have anything going like that, like education or anything like that?
Usually just people will reach out to me and I'll do the best I can to help educate them along the way because obviously I want them to take care of their stuff and I want
Hmm.
everybody to look good. And whether
Yeah.
it's me fixing it or them fixing it. And about 75% of the time I'll say somebody will attempt it on their own and then shortly thereafter they'll contact me and go, I'm in over my head.
Oh,
Can you actually just wash and restyle this for me because I can't. I tried and I can't. And yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to do that because yeah,
yeah.
I
Well, that's really cool.
sometimes you don't know till you try. Who knows?
And
You know, the next big great wig artist may be in the making and they just haven't tried it yet.
haven't tried it yet because they can absolutely ship you their wig and then you can take care
Yes.
of it and you will ship it back to them. They don't have to be local to Central Florida.
Oh, not at all. I've styled people from everywhere from Canada, the UK, New York. I ship everywhere.
Hmm. Oh, speaking of New York, I wanted to mention this and talk to you about it because a lot of people don't know. Every year at Thanksgiving for the last couple of years, well, so every year, couple of years, you've gone to New York to do something very special, fun, and exciting. Tell everybody about that.
I have. I have had the distinct privilege of getting to know the costume crew and the person who runs the costuming for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So a couple times over the last few years, I've had the privilege to go up there and work as a dresser for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And oh my God, it's so much fun. It's kind of a bucket list thing. I grew up watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and if I could have like, it might be one in my top 5 nerdy fandoms.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I love that parade. I absolutely love it. There's a feeling of nostalgia and peacefulness and just something that goes with it. And to get to actually go be even the tiniest part of it, because I'm Manosphere is tiniest part, and that's fine. I got to be
Mhm.
involved and it was awesome.
Absolutely. And I am so excited about that for you. I have told people I have a friend who works on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, so
Yeah.
I'm living vicariously through you for Macy. My tradition is get up and make Pillsbury cinnamon rolls and watch the parade every
Oh,
year.
that sounds good.
Done it since I was a kid. Love
Oh
it. My
yeah.
sister Angie said, "Impressive for you to take her," and she wishes that big hair and high waisted pants come back. So
Who knows? You never know,
you
right?
never
It's
know. Now
styles are fickle.
that was a whole interesting thing with Macy's because it's not just people showing up and being a parade. It is a whole theatrical entertainment production, and
It's
they take.
wild.
I bet, I bet. What time do you have to be there in the morning, the day of the parade?
I can't remember if it was 4:45 or 5 a.m.
Hmm.
but it was in that ballpark. But yeah, there's thousands of people that get dressed and they stage it out of one of the hotels there, and they have the ballroom set up and the different floors set up with the specialty characters and stuff. It's the most organized military thing I have ever seen. It's magical. I have never seen such organization anywhere I've worked, anywhere. Because
Are you
they
going
load
back
in the
this
day
year?
before. Probably not this year, just because of
Really?
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've got a family. My wife is very, very concerned. Anxiety is like next level for this virus.
Yeah.
So I kind of have
Yeah.
to like meet her halfway to, yeah.
Yeah, well, just to let you know on that note, I will throw this in there because we're broadcasting this on the Sunburst groups and discussions, and we are moving forward with Sunburst, but we're taking notes with Universal and Disney with how they're handling social distancing, and
Yeah.
because we want to have it. We want to have it, and we're going to do our
Yeah.
best to see what we can do. The hotel has worked with me, and we'll move forward in the best and safest way. And I think it's just better to move forward with, we're going to have it. And then if for some reason we have to say, okay, we can't, then to go, let's not have it, and then go, darn it, we could have, you know.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's completely fair. And I kind of let her know about that yesterday too.
Oh yeah.
She's like, wait, what do you mean you're doing that? I was like, just relax. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be as safe as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be okay.
Yeah,
It'll be
I just need to invest in those big gallon jugs of hand sanitizer and have them.
Oh yeah, the big ones with the pump. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I'll be wearing my fancy mask and doing my thing, but I'll be there.
Yeah. How many masks do you have? Do you have a couple of fancy masks?
I have a couple of different ones that I've made for just us. I know a lot of people got on the mask making bandwagon. I'll be honest, I wasn't one of them. Only because I don't know, it just made it a little too real for me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a selfish reason, but it was my reason, and I had to kind of go with that. I made enough for the immediate family to make sure we could, go run to the grocery store, to go do what we needed to do when we had to do it. But like, I thought about it, and I looked at my fabric stash, and I was like, I can't. This is just making me feel nauseous to even think about it. So I have to, for my own sanity, step back a little.
Sarah LaSalle made some for us.
Yeah,
and
I saw some different ones she's made.
Yeah, I wanted a bandana one, and she made me a bandana one. Yeah, and she made one with hearts and lips on it for Jackie, and then my mother-in-law made a couple for each of us too. So that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us? Want to remind everybody how to get in touch with you again. MrsSpookShow.com is the website.
MrsSpookShow.com or Mrs. Spook Show's Designs on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. Reach out through any of those formats, and you can get in touch with me fairly easy. I'm pretty easy to find.
And if anybody is out there and you're wondering, could my character be better with Heidi's wigs, call her up and talk to her and see what she has to offer and any suggestions that she has. And even if you don't know her, if you've never met her, send her a picture of what you got and what you have in mind and what you look like, and she will get you set up with all of that.
And I'll let you know if that's a possibility with what you've got, or if it requires something different. And I'll be honest, I am not out to. Obviously, we're all in this to make a living and so forth, but I'm never going to tell anybody, oh, you have to get something new, or you're just going to look terrible. That's just not me. I mean, my moniker might be Mrs. Spook Show, but I'm actually fairly nice.
And I will say this, if you're wondering, that's true. That's a dichotomy there. But one of the things that I also find very impressive is that your pricing and your prices are very reasonable, and a person might not think to spend $200 on a wig. You may have one for $200, you may have one for $65, but they're going to get the top of the line. And so I highly recommend Heidi with her work, because she does all mine. I haven't put together my my Tiger King everything
I
together.
I want to see that though.
Yeah, of course I've had the wig on, but
I would be surprised if you hadn't.
Yeah, as soon as I got it, I'm like, the wig's here, and but I got to go get the right mustache and everything for it and all that. And I could probably
let me know. I can hook you up on that too.
I thought about that too. I'm like, need a mustache to go with this. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining me. And by the way, little side note, yeah, it's called Tribute Talk Faux Real, and Heidi came up with the faux real part on that.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That's
FAUX. You put out a thing asking, so yeah.
Well, again, thanks for joining me, and I will see you on Facebook. And indeed. I appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right. Say bye.
Bye.
Hang around just a second. I'm just going to end the broadcast. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining me. I have been talking with Hiedi Musselman of Mrs. Spook Show's Designs, and you can find her on the internet at www.mrsspookshow.com. And you can also find her Mrs. Spook Show's Designs on Facebook. That's going to be it for now. I'm going to interview somebody else tomorrow. But in the meantime, you guys have a good day and bless your heart in the good way. We'll catch you later. Bye.